Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday in fucking April, probably April 22nd, 2021. And today I'm going to explain how fucking crazy I am. People look at me and they're like, "You're not crazy. Do you understand what's under the tattoos? There's these things keloid scars. I've been cutting since I was 5 years old. I started with cutting the skin off the bottom of my feet. Then I upgraded to chewing and ripping my nails out. I say upgrade because it doesn't get any better. With me, you're noticing lines on my face. It's from my mask. I wear my bypass mask tight because I can't handle little leaks popping out. So this is the mask that goes around. I have sleep apnea. If you don't know what that is, it means you stop sleeping in your sleep. I'm having discussions with people just being diagnosed with sleep apnea, and they're like, I had 70 stops. I had 80 stops. And I'm like, holy shit, I had 98 out of 100. But I was much bigger back then. I don't think it is as bad as it is. Now, I'm going to talk about sleep apnea and depression and what they think I have. I've been suffering for a long time, way before my father died. Everyone thinks that the source of all this is my father's death. My father died when I was 7 years old. He died in July. I turned 8 in November. So it was the year I turned 8. Shortly after my father died, I hit my menstrual cycle because of all the stress. So you can just imagine how lovely that year fucking was. When my father first died, my mom believed that she said that I saw his spirit. Because I said that my father came to me and told me that it'd be alright. And he told me things that I didn't know that I said to my mom. So that's messed up. Like, I've been hearing voices since I started to think. So we're talking like 3 or 4 thought process. And it's not just one voice, and it's not people I know. Oh, did I know many people when I was fucking 4? No, but I knew this voice. He calls himself the Godhead. He's the leader. There's 5 voices, 2 female voices and 3 male voices. Everyone says, why don't you take some fucking meds, Lindsay? No one knew about the voices until my late 20s. No one asked. They just asked about the self-harm and the depression. So, as I progressed into my teens, I started cutting on my arms and my legs. I cut everywhere. I still self-harm. I just don't cut very often. Because I develop keloid scars. I also suffer from another thing that it finally has a name. It's called autocarvy, which is in self-cannibalism. So the self-harm is linked to not only feeling bad and wanting to expel your feelings for pain and having the adrenaline from the self-harm have effect. It was the devouring and the carnage that was driving it. Because now I don't self-harm for feeling better. I self-harm because of the carnage and the devouring. I rip my toenails out of my feet and my fingernails. People do that for torture in countries. I don't give a shit. My pinky toe doesn't even toenails stay on my foot. I just touched it one day and it fell off. I'm like, holy fuck, that's messed up. And I don't recommend ripping your toenails out over and over again because then they grow back funky. Now they grow back chalky and uneven, and sometimes they get ram's horn, and it's like a big, it's too much damage to the nail bed. See, I don't just pull out my nail, I damage the nail bed too. I don't want to go into discussions about why I eat my flesh, Do you really want to know? People usually just look at me with disgust. So it's best not to talk about. It just happens. It happens in my life. Now, I saw a counselor from the age 10 until 20 in high school, in middle school. I wasn't diagnosed with really anything in the mental health spectrum. I was diagnosed with a behavioral disorder. And that's what they do for all kids. They don't want to diagnose early because the brain changes. And I had a choice to go on medication, and I chose not to. My mom also chose not when I was younger. Because what we don't know is that medication messes with your endorphins, it messes with your dopamine, it messes with your serotonin. Your brain is still developing until you're like 23, 24, 25. It even says on the medication, if you're under 25 years old, take caution when taking this medication. It can make you suicidal. I started medication when I was 22. Really weak meds, like they didn't really do anything. See, with me, I'm watching this show, and this chick is like, I don't know, 27. She's talking about being on meds since she was 16. She's only been on 40 meds. I'm like, 40 meds? That's nothing compared to me. Don't suggest medication to me. I've been on it all. I've been on new shit. Resulti, Latuda, fucking Abilify I've been on. That's not that very new anymore. It was new when I went on it. I've been on Effexor. I'm never going back on that shit again. Don't go on Cotipiline, aka Sertraline. That's, what's it called? Seroquel. That's what it's called. Seroquel. That's what makes you gain weight, bitch. I remember when I first went into 2009 into Panoka Centennial Center. I was on Rundle. That was the first time I went into the crazy ward. I thought I was crazy. You don't know until you meet other crazies. Now, everyone says, you're fucking fat, lose some weight. I'm not fat because of lack of exercise. I'm not fat because of my eating. I'm fat because of medication, you dumb retard. I used to weigh close to 700 pounds 5 years ago. And now I weigh 370 pounds. So fuck off! Thanks! You're fat! You're a fat, rude bitch! Thanks, I know. Thanks for the reminder. You don't need to remind me, I know. So in 2009, they asked me what I suffer from. Because I was admitted because I self-harmed. So they had that under wraps. Self-harm. I said, I feel empty and depressed. Because I was told not to talk about my other problems. I was told to keep them inside. They never asked me the other questions. They just, explain your depression, explain your emptiness. So because I had 3 of the 5 symptoms of borderline personality disorder, they then asked me, how many relationships have I had? Well, I haven't had many. At that time, I had none. So they assumed that I had problems with relationships. Just because I don't have a sexual partner doesn't mean I don't have problems with relationships. After all, I didn't lose my virginity to a man till I was 25 or 26. I had sex when I was 24 with a female, but the hymen wasn't broken. A man didn't even break my fucking hymen, bitches. I broke my own. Because I had something called the SEPA hymen, where it's not just in flesh around it. It has a little piece of flesh that went through it. And they would just fit through one hole, fit their dick and stretch it. But it was still there, the flesh. So I cut it out. Too graphic? Cut. I don't even have scissors here. They're over there. Because fucking Joe uses them for weed. Ugh. I'm not high right now. This is full-fledged Lindsay. I just took my meds. My shirt is wet from the almond beverage because I was drinking out and it spilled all over me. I'm like, awesome. So, since the age of 22 to now, I've been probably on 80 different medications. My doctor just He put me back on Wellbutrin. I was on Wellbutrin 7 years ago. And then it stopped working and I had to switch. I don't respond to medication, I noticed that, because I'm taking codeine for my fucking hand and I barely feel it. Tylenol's nothing. Codeine's nothing. I've been taking painkillers since my menstrual cycle started. Since I was 8, and I'm 34 now. Like, I also say to people, especially my doctor, my psychiatrist, he's like, oh, you want to go on a Lazapine? And he like rates me and I see 5 milligrams. I like throw it back at him and I'm like, what do I fucking look like, a skinny bitch to you, bitch? I'm like, look at the size of me and look at how many meds I've been on. You really think 5's gonna do it? And he's like, oh, okay. And then he writes 10. But you know what the fucker did? He made a mistake because he's overworked. He didn't refill half of my meds, and he only wrote that one Lazapine, the one that's supposed to help with anger. Anger. For 7 days. Well, I was angry with him because he didn't write prescriptions for me. So fuck him. I'll see him when those prescriptions up. Oh, I eventually had a meltdown last week, and I saw him. And he doesn't know what to do. Man, he doesn't even know what I'm diagnosed with anymore. He said, like 3 sessions ago, he said, what do you think you're diagnosed with? And I'm like, what the fuck do I think about? I'm like, what do you think you are? Does it look like I have a degree in psychiatry? You're the one with the PhD. You're the one that prescribes. You're the one that diagnoses. You tell me, because he doesn't know. And what's the point of seeing a psychiatrist if they're not as smart as you? I know I'm sick. And now his idea is to put me back in the hospital for a few months and then ship me off to another hospital for a few months. So like 6-7 months in the hospital. And take me off all my meds and see how I manage. And then send me to a rehab for the mentally ill and see how I manage there. What is this, a game? Is this a game to him? Is my life a game to him? That's why I'm frustrated. That's why I'm so angry. It's because my mental health is a game, it seems. You know how many times I've been in the hospital? I've been in the hospital 42 times in 12 years for over a month at a time, sometimes 6 months. Yeah, that's such a life in the past 12 years. Thanks. Thanks so much. Lots of people say, well, it's situational depression. You have schizoaffective disorder because your mom was abusive. That's not why. I don't think that's why. Because since I can remember, something's not right up here. I think differently. I speak differently. I have a speech impediment. I can't pronounce a lot of words in English. And people correct my Arabic all the time. They're like, oh, you're reciting that wrong. You say it wrong. I'm like, I say English wrong, motherfucker. I'm like, come on. So I was diagnosed when I was 31. So 3 years ago. With schizoaffective disorder. That seemed to make sense. But I guess it doesn't make sense to Dr. Bashai. Because the pills aren't working. And schizophrenia is uncurable. Other disorders are curable with therapy, like CBD, cognitive behavior therapy. A personality disorder like borderline, DBT, dialect behavior therapy. It doesn't fucking work for me because I don't have it. I spent 3 years fucking studying DBT. I did the workbooks. I applied shit. My counselor's saying, oh, you gotta apply it for it to work. I do apply my fucking skills, bitch. And the skills that I do apply are the ones that work. And that's vlogging. That's talking about my problems. Keeping busy. The best medication out there isn't fucking pills. It's exercise. I exercise. I can't exercise right now because I have balance issues. I only have 5 fingers and 2 thumbs right now. I'm in constant pain. I feel the pin right here. Right here. It's moving back and forth and it's infected. It's not that great. when I go on May 4th, Star Wars Day, it was stupid. I remembered my follow-up appointments because one was on April 20th, 420. Weed Day. And the second one was May 4th. May the Force be with you Day, Star Wars Day. Which is also my friend's birthday. I'm not going to wish my friend a happy birthday because he forgot my fucking birthday in November. He forgot my birthday. He didn't even wish me happy birthday. He never got me a gift. Mind that. I got him and his son Christmas presents. I got him stuff to put under the tree. I put stuff in their stockings because he said we were going to have Christmas together. Bullshit. He had Christmas with his ex-wife. He didn't get me anything. He owes me so much money. I just want to punch him in the face and tell him to fuck off half of the time. Every day he messages me for a favor. Does it look like I'm in a position to do a favor? I can't even do a favor for my fucking self. I'm tired of helping people. Because no one fucking helps me. I help everyone all the time. No one helps me. I'm near the edge. I'm an edge walker. I'm about to go off all my meds. And guess what? If the world goes to shit, I'll be the motherfucker with the 2 swords in their hand. And a fucking, hammer. I'll bash you to death if I have to. And does this look like sane mind to you? Yes, I'm insane in the membrane. But I am a human person too, and I do have empathy. I have too much empathy, I think. I feel emotions around me. I don't know where my mind's going half the time. And since I've been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, it makes a lot of sense because schizoaffective disorder is schizophrenia with a mood disorder. So either MDD, major depressive disorder, or bipolar. That's what he thought I had after borderline. He thought I had bipolar type 2. Well, that didn't explain the confusion and the disoriented thinking and the illusions and stuff like that. So, it took him like 3 years, but then he's like, I believe that you have schizoaffective disorder. That's what Safa said. I don't even want to see a psychiatrist or a doctor. There's no point in seeing physicians. Even surgeons. There's no point. I recently have surgery on my hand. He prescribed me a medication knowing I was on social assistance. I'm on disability. He prescribed me a med that is very expensive that my healthcare doesn't cover and I couldn't take because of my medication. I took my meds in. I told him what meds I was on. He just disregarded what medication I was on and prescribed me medication that I couldn't take. So I spent from the 9th until the 20th in a constant pain. My pharmacist said, oh yeah, don't take that, take 100% codeine. Yeah, because I finally got the codeine from the follow-up guy. Man, it doesn't work. It makes my hand numb, that's all it does. And it makes me sleepy. And I don't like to sleep during the day because it messes me up. So this is the life of Crazy Lindsay. I self-harm. I eat myself. I hear voices. I see illusions. And my mind is disoriented. Do you know what it's like to be disoriented? As an intelligent person, falling into disorientation and confusion is very frustrating for the average person. Anyways, this is just Lindsay motherfucking Lou explaining herself to you. I hope you get it right, motherfucker. I'm a female too. And have fun.